Under the veil of moonlight and mist, we begin our journey where belief blurs into legend, and the echoes of the past refuse to rest. Tonight on Macabre Musings, we honor the pioneering High Priestess who first whispered modern witchcraft to the world, chase a trickster through shadowy Irish bogs, unearth the secret graves of accused witches, and chase the ghosts of two teens who vanished on All Hallows Eve. Patricia Crowther, known in the craft as Thelema, was born Patricia Dawson on October 14, 1927 in Sheffield, England. Initiated by Gerald Gardner himself and later co-founder of the Sheffield Coven in 1961, she spent 7 decades spreading Wicca through books, magazines, and even a groundbreaking radio series, A Spell of Witchcraft, on BBC Radio, Sheffield, in 1971. Centuries before pumpkins glowed on doorsteps, a cunning drunkard named Stingy Jack roamed the Irish countryside. After tricking the devil into turning himself into a coin, only to trap him next to a crucifix, Jack secured a 10-year reprieve from eternal damnation. Upon his death, neither heaven nor hell would claim him. Armed only with a hollowed turnip and a smoldering coal, Jack became the first jack-o'-lantern, condemned to wander the night. Under rolling hills and moonlit moors, the accused were laid to rest not in peace, but in fear, sealed beneath stones, bound with iron, and propped to silence the curses they may cast beyond the grave. We journey across continents and centuries, unearthing the macabre customs used to bind witches for eternity, and the restless spirits these burials were meant to contain. Finally, on Halloween 1969, Patricia, 16, and Pamela, 15, stepped into oblivion. Neither took money, IDs, nor their shoes, and their bodies were never found. What began as a suspected runaway case has become a decades-long hunt, a chilling reminder that some vanishings leave only questions in their wake. Hey, y'all. I hope that everyone is having a great week. Are you feeling awesome, Amy?
I mean, no. I'm sick.
Right. I have
And
passed the sickness over across the lands.
right?
Except yours is not the same kind of sickness, and I'm still kind of sick, but I'm better than I was.
Nah, so far I don't have the coughing and stuff. I've got some serious sinus issues, and apparently my ear wants to bust open. But yeah,
I mean, you know, it's whatever.
it is what it is.
Happy October.
Welcome fall.
It's spooky season,
That's
though.
right. But unfortunately, with spooky season came my illness. It does every year.
It always does. So that's when I know it's officially fall, even though degrees say otherwise here, as does humidity. But
you know, humidity. It is 67 degrees here right now.
It's 76 in my house.
That is backward of what I just said.
I know. It sure is.
I'm so sorry. I would die 1,000 deaths.
It's currently 79 outside.
Oh.
I mean, it's not 95 or 120, so.
You got used to it down there now.
Pretty good to me. I have. Yeah.
You come here and freeze.
Probably. Yeah.
Zane's friend Rob that lives in Texas, he freezes whenever he comes to the holler, which is very rare, but like he freezes.
I won't be upset about it though. It'll be nice to be, you know what I mean?
Under all the quilts.
Yeah. I mean, I have like our bedroom is the warmest room in the house, and if I keep this on 72, even in there, I have to have a blanket on me at all times. So, anywho, it is spooky season, so we're gonna start spooky seasoning for our episodes for this month. leading up to Halloween.
Spooky seasoning. I'm sorry, in my head I was just at the grocery
that.
store in the seasonings aisle and it was lovely. What would that taste like?
It's got to have some pumpkin in it, unfortunately. More so spice for me, because I don't like pumpkin.
I think it tastes like chai.
I like all spice. Ah, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I go scrolling through the Google pretty much every morning. And I was scrolling through the other day and I read this article about a lady. And I was like, that's my next episode.
Yeah.
So here we are. I'm going to tell you all about her. Patricia Dawson was born on October 14th, 1927 in Sheffield, Yorkshire, England. Her family trained her in singing, dancing, and acting for the stage from an early age, and she toured in revue and pantomime as a young performer. Experiences that shaped her public confidence and performance skills later used in public teachings and media appearances. Her maternal grandmother was Elizabeth Machen, and Patricia's family lore included a Breton great-grandmother who worked as an herbalist and clairvoyant, a lineage that Patricia and others later cited as formative to her early interest in folklore and divination.
Nice.
I know. Her education, training, and early career. Patricia received performing arts training rather than formal academic training in occult studies. Her early education emphasized stagecraft, singing, and dance, which led to wartime and post-war entertainment work for troops and touring revue companies. In the 1950s, she worked on variety shows and summer seasons, which is where she encountered theatrical colleagues, fortune tellers, and stage magicians who introduced her to networks that would later bring her into contact with Gerald Gardner. Patricia met Arnold Crowther, a stage magician and ventriloquist, while both were working on the same show in the mid-1950s. They married and became creative and spiritual partners, combining performance, ritual, and public outreach in their household and coven activities.
Oh.
Later, they founded the Sheffield Coven in 1961, where Patricia served as High Priestess and Arnold as High Priest. The Crowthers hosted ritual work, initiated students, and maintained an active public presence at a time when many practitioners remained very private. So if you're thinking of the years during this is kind of wild that they were doing the things that they were doing when they were doing them. Patricia was formally initiated into Gardnerian Wicca by Gerald B. Gardner, placing her among the earliest initiated, which is often called early craft mothers.
I have never heard that word before.
I hadn't either. She turned her background in performance and public speaking into a career of outreach, lecturing, giving interviews, appearing on radio and television programs, and producing recorded material about Wicca and the old religion. She and Arnold also marketed their knowledge through teaching, coven formation, and published writings, making the Crowther household both a spiritual center and a focal point for the propagation of Gardnerian practice in Britain and overseas. Patricia authored books and numerous articles on witchcraft and instructional materials such as Witch Blood, the Diary of a Witch High Priestess, and collections of interviews and teachings. Her work was widely cited by later scholars and practitioners of modern Wicca. She co-produced and contributed to radio programs about witchcraft and worked to demystify and defend Wicca in public forums, becoming one of the most visible spokespersons for Gardnerian tradition during the 1960s through the 1980s. Her teaching lineage and coven downlines created a durable influence. Many contemporary Gardnerian practitioners trace initiation lines back through covens she helped found and mentor. Public biographies and contemporary Coven histories emphasize Patricia's lifelong partnership with Arnold Crowther and later long-term companionship with others in the Wiccan community, but they do not document any surviving biological children. Most accounts describe her life as devoted to ritual leadership, teaching, writing, and the maintenance of the Coven rather than raising a separate nuclear family. Her household and Coven relations served as her primary familial network and are repeatedly described as central to her life and her legacy. She has a long history, obviously, with the great-grandmother and all that. And I think it's kind of sad, though, that she never had children to pass that down to. But
yeah,
she was married.
I'm surprised I've never heard this name before.
I hadn't either, and I was very, very surprised by it, especially given the amount of stuff. Like, we're not even into all the things that she's done, which is kind of crazy. Patricia continued to be a respected elder within Gardnerian and wider pagan communities into advanced age, giving interviews, attending festivals, and advising students when health allowed. Arnold predeceased her in 1974, and she remained publicly active afterward through writing and speaking engagements. Contemporary memorials and community tributes following her passing emphasize her role as one of the last living direct initiates of Gerald Gardner and celebrate the continuity of the traditions she helped sustain. Patricia Crowther's written work, recorded interviews, and the covens she founded or influenced form a visible legacy in modern Wicca. Lineage charts, teaching syllabi, and popular histories of the craft regularly list her as a foundational figure whose blend of theatricality, teaching, and devotion helped normalize and transmit Gardnerian practices to subsequent generations of pagans and scholars. Her personal family lore, public defenses of Wicca, and role as a media-facing high priestess ensured she remained a central reference point in both popular and academic accounts of 20th century witchcraft revival. Crowther remained a visible and respected elder in the Wiccan community into advanced age. She partnered for many years with Ian Lillyman. Patricia Crowther died at home in Sheffield on September 24th. 2025 at the age of 97 from complications related to dementia, and her passing prompted widespread tributes recognizing her role as a foundational figure in modern Wicca. Is she not like one of the coolest?
It's really cool. I've never heard of her before.
I mean,
that I can think of.
I can't think of a time that I've ever like been scrolling through news or articles or anything, and they're like the High Priestess of anywhere has just passed away at the age of 97. And I was like, wait, what? So I started reading and I was like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Do you think it's just because the Wiccan are just trying to mind their business? Or?
I mean, generally speaking, yes. So she had a radio show. You can actually find all of the episodes on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. It was on BBC Radio Sheffield, and it was called A Spell of Witchcraft, and it's from the 1950s. So
like, when you're saying radio show, you ran home to go listen to your radio show.
Yes.
On the radio.
And this went all the way into the 70s. Like, this ran for years. She also, if you look her name up on YouTube, you can find, like, she has rituals on there, like performance and doing them during, I guess, the radio show and other appearances. So, like, she very, very publicly did these things, which is crazy, especially for the time. I was very, very fascinated by her. And I was like, I have to tell about her life. That's amazing. 97.
That is 97. Wow.
So that is Patricia Crowther. And I felt that everybody should know who she is because, damn.
It was doing some things.
What a woman. Very much so. Very publicly and openly. That's the biggest part for me. I was like, for that time, especially, that's crazy.
And apparently not being completely ridiculous about it or anything.
Right.
Those are probably not the words I needed to use, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah. She just
otherwise we'd have heard about this person in a bad way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. She made it, I guess you could say she normalized it, really, which is a lot more needed. So that's Patricia.
I do not have a cryptid quickie, but this is a very important figure this time of year for all of us lovers of the season. I'm going to be talking to you about Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack is a legendary figure from Irish folklore known for his cunning tricks and his eternal punishment of wandering the earth with a lantern, which inspired the tradition of the jack-o'-lantern. Now I'm going to tell you the legend of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack, also known as Jack the Smith, Drunk Jack, Flaky Jack, Jack-o'-lantern, and Pumpkin Jack, was a notorious drunkard and deceiver in a small Irish village. His reputation for trickery and manipulation was well known, and he often took advantage of others for his own gain. One fateful night, the devil himself came to collect Jack's soul due to his wicked ways. When the devil approached Jack, he cleverly asked for one last drink before his departure. The devil, intrigued, agreed and accompanied Jack to a tavern. However, when it was time to pay, Jack, true to his name, had no money. He convinced the devil to transform into a coin to settle the bill. Once the devil turned into a coin, Jack quickly pocketed him next to a crucifix, which prevented the devil from changing back into his original form.
Smart.
Right? Jack then made a deal with the devil. He would release him only if he promised not to claim Jack's soul for 10 years. So I assume he is sitting there making a deal with a coin that talks? I don't know. I want some clarification.
I never thought about that.
I know the story, but
on the coin, like a quarter with the person on it, and he's just like,
so he's just a talking head.
Yeah,
that's got to be it. Because I mean, I've known this story for years and years, but I never really thought about it until I was like,
that never occurred to me, and now it has. Okay,
you're welcome.
Thanks.
10 years later, when the time was up, the devil returned to claim Jack's soul. Jack, again using his wits, tricked the devil, this time into climbing a tree to pick a piece of fruit. And we know about the devil and pieces of fruit.
Right.
While the devil was in the tree, Jack carved a cross into the bark, trapping the devil until he promised not to bother Jack for another 10 years.
Also smart.
Right. But was it just the one cross? Because he couldn't crawl down the backside? See, now I just have questions.
Yeah, me too.
Anywho, eventually, Jack died. However, due to his deceitful life, God would not allow him into heaven. The devil, angry at Jack for outsmarting him, also refused to let him into hell. Instead, he sent Jack off into the night with only a burning coal to light his way. Jack placed the coal into a carved-out turnip, and from that day on, he has been wandering the earth forever, searching for peace.
I mean, that's also fair.
Yeah. The story of Stingy Jack is believed to be the origin of the jack-o'-lantern tradition. Originally, people carved turnips to create lanterns, which were used to ward off evil spirits during the festival of Samhain, marking the end of the harvest season. When Irish immigrants came to America, they adapted the tradition using pumpkins, which were more readily available. If you have never seen a carved turnip,
you must.
You must, because it's terrifying. It looks like shrunken heads.
They are disgusting.
I'm so scared of them.
Yeah.
Stingy Jack's tale serves as a cautionary story about the consequences of a life filled with deceit and trickery, and it has become an integral part of Halloween folklore. But the story of Stingy Jack always makes me think about the different characters with pumpkins for heads. Through the years, we've been introduced to many pumpkin-headed figures. Some of the most notable characters are Sam from Trick or Treat. If you don't know, Sam is a small burlap sack-wearing figure who is the personified spirit of Halloween. He is also the demonic enforcer of the rules and traditions of Halloween.
He is.
It's been a minute since I've watched that. I have to go watch
it.
So I don't own that version of Trick or Treat, but I own a version of Trick or Treat that has Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne.
I've seen it.
Merv Pumpkinhead, and I'm not familiar with this one. I am familiar with the Sandman comic series by Neil Gaiman in the sense that I've heard of it, and Neil Gaiman is phenomenal. And if you like the story of Snow White, you really need to find Snow Glass Apples by Neil Gaiman. It is chef's kiss.
Oh.
It's my favorite story of Yes, it is my favorite story of Snow White.
Oh, I have not read that.
Yeah, you've got to find it.
I will.
So Merv serves as the caretaker and custodian of the Dreaming, which is the realm of dreams and stories. I had more information on him, but me not knowing a whole lot about that comic series, I just went ahead and stuck with that bit of information. Hopefully some of their muses will know who I'm talking about. Gonna have to look into it.
And if you do, let us know when we send
Yes, please.
Or when we post like show notes and stuff. Put it in the comments if you know more about this stuff that we do, because we're always looking for more information.
And sometimes it's hard for us to put more information in because we go into these rabbit holes. I'm sorry we say that constantly, but
we have problems with rabbit holes. Some of our stuff may seem like it's far shorter than you would like it to be. It's far shorter than we would like it to be also.
Right.
Because if we did all of our shows the way that we would honestly like to do them, we would just be on here for hours and hours and hours, and ain't nobody trying to listen to that.
No.
Or talk for that long, to be fair.
I mean, good on you if you are.
However. Heck yeah. Shoot. However, shoot.
I mean, we can talk a lot, but...
Oh, we can. It's generally just about nonsense, to be fair, but we can. If need be.
My favorite of the pumpkin-headed characters has to be the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
And that's only in variants of the story. In many retellings and visual portrayals of Washington Irving's Headless Horseman, the rider's head is represented by a carved pumpkin, or I said pumpkin, y'all, because I'm from West Virginia, and that's fine, and you can leave that right on in there a bit.
I'm gonna.
Okay. Because we say pumpkin. So his head is represented by a carved pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
No, I can't stop. Appalachian.
It's fine.
The Great Pumpkin, of course, from the Peanuts movie. It's the Great Pumpkin, yes. Charlie Brown. While never actually seen on screen, which irritates me, by the way.
Me too.
According to Linus Van Pelt, and that is the little boy who carries the blanket, if you don't know, on Halloween night, the Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch, and it flies through the air to bring toys to all the good little children everywhere. Linus insists that the Great Pumpkin only visits the most sincere patch, one free of hypocrisy.
That's my favorite one for all of the Peanuts ones.
I like that one the best, and my next favorite one is the Thanksgiving one.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I have to rewatch that.
I know. It'll be on something soon.
Of course it will. It's probably already on. It's 31 Days of Halloween somewhere on some TV station.
Absolutely.
Jack Skellington as Pumpkin King from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Of course, an icon. Jack is a skeletal Pumpkin King figure. He is the embodiment of Halloween and brings the magic of the holiday to Halloween Town, all while being the spiritual leader and protector. And Pumpkinhead from the movie Pumpkinhead.
My childhood.
You're welcome. Do you remember that Punky Brewster, well, that's not her name, Thelema Fry, is in one of the Pumpkinhead movies? I don't remember which.
Remember which one, but yeah.
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 So yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, that was an icon from my childhood.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead is a demon of vengeance who can be summoned through dark rituals by a vengeful person to enact revenge on the summoner's behalf. And trying to remember from the movie, you had to go see the witch, correct?
Yes.
And there's the whole ritual thing.
I was going to say there's a whole thing that had to be done in order for it to actually work. But yeah.
Yes.
I haven't seen that either.
You know how everybody else says that they read a Stephen King book far too young?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I read far too young? Helter Skelter.
Oh, I read that when I was a teenager, I believe. I wasn't a child.
I think I was in middle school.
I did, however, read. It was Stephen King. I think it was Pet Sematary was my first.
I think I was always into the movies, and then it was later on before I got into wanting to read books because I was the kid who didn't want to read a book because you told me that I had to read the book.
Yeah.
And now I think I've gone back and read all of those. But
right.
Back to Pumpkinhead. That whole ordeal, this series started with a dad went to seek vengeance for his son's death. If I remember correctly, he got
Yes.
ran over by someone on a motorcycle? A dirt bike? Was it a dirt bike?
It was a dirt bike.
It was a dirt bike. I was thinking, I mean, it's been a minute since I watched that. That was one that I thought of.
Was it?
Do you have a favorite pumpkin-headed character? Or can you think of others
Sam.
that I missed?
Mine is Sam. Yeah, I have a lamp, a Sam lamp.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam's my favorite. I can't really think of any more.
I think I got them all.
I mean, yeah, it's at least the...
Do you know when I was researching pumpkin-headed characters, Pumpkinhead from the Pumpkinhead movie did not come up. I was just like going through and I was like, wait a minute, what? How are you not going to have Pumpkinhead? Yeah.
Literal Pumpkinhead.
I've literally typed in pumpkin-headed characters or something crazy like that. And then a list came up and I was like, what do you mean Pumpkinhead's not on there?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. I know your favorite. Well, maybe. Is it still Jack? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Who doesn't always sport an actual pumpkin head because he has a skull pumpkin.
He doesn't.
A pumpkin skull.
Right. But, you know, it's still quality.
He's a pumpkin king in this house.
Pumpkin king. My pumpkin patch has started again.
Has it spread?
It has, and nobody's been back there to chop it down yet, so.
Oh, dear.
I ain't seen no pumpkins yet. But.
Are they called fantasy pumpkins? Is that what you accidentally threw the seeds of back there?
Yeah.
You should sell them.
Oh, I threw the whole pumpkins back there. Like, I had 3 of them and just tossed them back there to rot and feed the birds. That's what started it, was I was like, oh, my crows will love these.
Your crows now have a whole patch.
And then they had, I think there were 19 that grew from it last year.
Did you guys pick them and use them?
I picked them all, and then they ended up going over to his sister's to feed the deer.
So she's got pumpkins.
Within like 3 weeks of that, there were vines all over the place back there in the back part of the yard where they were feeding the deer. So.
Oh my gosh, your father-in-law is going to choke you with a pumpkin vine.
I think he gave up. That's why it ain't been torn down yet.
I mean, to be fair,
like,
there is a lot
but
of
now
land.
He left them alone last year because he was curious just to see if it would really work. And then it got out of control, and like,
you could be a seller of pumpkins. Except for you'd be like, I like all the pumpkins. You can't buy my pumpkins.
That would, well, and that's
that
the thing,
be
but we couldn't carve them though.
Right, but people like those ones for
thick.
decorating. Throw you some regular orange pumpkins.
That's what I want to do. I want to get a regular one at least this year and throw it in the back part of that area instead of the front part.
I want you to grow a giant one. You know how to do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
You just have to clip all of them off except for one, so that vine only ever feeds the one.
Yeah.
And do that with a fantasy one too.
Oh.
I've never seen that done before.
Think of me either.
Please do that.
Okay. If I can find them, they're not out. I haven't seen them this year. I've seen some orange ones somewhere. I don't remember where now. So, for my bizarre burials this round, it is going to be a little bit different. Like last episode was also a little different, but your cryptid was different. So, we're just taking a different route for spooky season. So this is going to tie into Patricia, sort of. This is going to be real witch burials around the world in different places.
I'm excited about this.
Really exciting to research it. Yeah.
And we had talked about all of the so-called witches buried in these places where a witch, in the sense that the Salem witch trials kind of witches, would not have been buried in like a consecrated ground.
And that's kind of
they are not going to be in a graveyard.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me think of this. And then I read that article and I was like, this all kind of just goes right off of what we had already talked about. This is going to be some specific burials of 6 real witches from various parts of the world over time. Okay. So number 1, We have The Witch of Naples, 16th century Italy. Location, San Pietro di Corta in Salerno, southern Italy. Burial dated to the 16th century and was unearthed in 2006 during restoration of a medieval church. Archaeologists.
Sorry,
Uh-huh.
heard me take that breath. So she in a churchyard, which is a graveyard? Okay, shut.
You'll see.
Okay.
So archaeologists found a woman's skeleton buried face down, a clear deviation from Christian burial tradition. Her body had 7 nails driven through her jaw and stones placed over her head and limbs. This was likely meant to prevent her from speaking spells or rising from the grave. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one that I believe she was under the church. So, like, under the
foundation. Oh, she was in.
Yeah.
Ay.
Yeah. In Renaissance Italy, women accused of witchcraft or heresy were often symbolically silenced even after death. So they drove nails through her jaws to keep her mouth from moving. Yeah, I know. It's disturbing. So then we have the witch girl of St. Osyth in England, 16th century. Again, location, St. Osyth, Essex, England. The date was likely 1580s, around the same time as the Osyth witch trials. And the discovery was in 1921. A skeleton of a young woman around 17 years old was found buried in unconsecrated ground with iron nails driven into her joints.
This isn't this. No, that was a child that you talked about that in that one episode.
Right, that was a little child.
That was a little kid. Okay.
That was actually in my list because they said they weren't real sure if it was a vampire or a witch.
That's right.
Because it was a child, they did it differently. So I left it out of this one because I've already covered it anyway as a vampire.
I gotcha.
I still think it was a vampire. The body was buried outside the churchyard, suggesting that she was denied a Christian burial, typical for suspected witches or suicides. Iron was believed to ward off evil or trap the spirit in the body. The historical tie, the Osyth was home to one of the earliest English witch trials in 1582, where 14 women were accused of witchcraft, including Ursula Kemp, who was hanged. So then we have the third one is the Witch of Brig-a-Turk in Scotland in early 18th century. Location, Brig-a-Turk, near Callander, Scotland. The date is circa 1700s. And the discovery, skeleton found in 1890s under a large flat stone in the Sussex region. The woman's skeleton was buried face down with large stones on her back, a classic anti-witch measure meant to pin the body to the earth. Oral tradition in the area held that she was a local witch, executed and buried away from consecrated ground to prevent her return. Local legend says animals avoided the spot and that digging there brought bad luck.
What you're telling me is she was the local herbalist and she pissed somebody off and they accused her of witchcraft and then she got murdered.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Number 4, the deviant burial in North Berwick, Scotland, late 16th century, near North Berwick, Scotland. The date was the late 1500s, around the time of the North Berwick witch trials, which were from 1590 to 1592. Archaeologists uncovered a body interred in a shallow grave, face down with stones around the head and limbs. While not consecutively proven to be a witch trial victim, the context and location near one of Scotland's largest witch trial sites strongly suggests a witch burial. The North Berwick trials were infamous. Over 70 people were accused, tortured, and executed for allegedly raising storms against King James IV. Storms.
Like attacks. Not like weather storms.
I would assume attacks because, like, if he was just pissed off because they made it rain on him.
Could happen.
But This was the 1500s, so let's be realistic here.
Boy.
Yeah. Number 5, the Witch of Vilnius in Lithuania, 17th century. The date was the 1600s. A skeleton of a woman found buried with her hands tied and heavy iron chain around her neck. The burial positioning suggested the woman was bound after death, possibly to prevent her from haunting the living. Yeah, no. In Baltic regions, witchcraft and revenant fears were closely linked. Iron chains were a common method to bind dangerous souls.
They
At
did
least
this
that
to her
one after.
after?
Yeah.
But she was probably still ritualistically murdered by a town.
I am sure that she was. Number 6, we have the Witch of Norrköping, Sweden, in 1670s. After 1675, during Sweden's witch panic.
Why does that sound much better than what we say?
I know.
Witch panic.
Right?
We have satanic panic. Yes.
So, can't have it all.
No, you
I like
can't.
the witch panic way better, though. After a wave of witch trials, several accused women were executed and buried in witch pits outside town borders. Yeah, that one's not part of the awesome sweetness. These graves often contained charred bones and iron nails, indicating burning and symbolic sealing of the remains. This was during the Torshirka witch trials, 1674 to 1675, in which 71 people were executed, one of Europe's deadliest witch hunts.
It was wow.
So,
I can't with the witch trials. You were just burning
men. I mean,
or men and children. Who knows? It's just burning people.
Just people for things. Literally just for whatever. Across Europe and beyond, anti-witch burials share some striking motifs. Face-down burials, of course. Trapping the souls in the earth. Iron, which could be nails, chains, or rods. A weapon against magic or spirits. Stones or heavy slabs. Physical restraint of the corpse. Burial outside consecrated ground, of course. Denying salvation or re-entry to the community. And these practices often reflected a mixture of fear and superstition. Even after execution, communities sought to contain what they believed were dangerous souls. I found a little bit of extra info that I wanted to throw in because it was pretty interesting. I also learned that the last actual witch trial was in 1944.
Yes, and if you would have seen my face whenever you put
I can imagine
into my message box, I was like,
I just came across that I don't even remember what I was looking at, but that popped up somewhere and I was like, there ain't no way. So
I had no clue.
I have to ask Amy if she has heard this or not because I had no idea that this happened. So her name was Helen Duncan and she was convicted in the UK and spent 9 months in prison in 1944.
But she was released after those 9 months?
She was released, yes. So she wasn't actually executed, but she spent 9 months in prison. And it was literally for palm reading. Nothing crazy.
For palmistry.
Fortune telling and palm reading. Yeah. And the last execution in Europe was in 1792. And it was Annie Godey. And the last in the U.S. was in 1878. And that was Lucretia Brown. That's a lot of years in between when they stopped and when we stopped.
Yeah. Wow.
But yet they still put a woman in prison in 1944.
I wonder, did somebody just not like what she had to say about her palm and what it said about her life?
I mean, probably.
Because that seemed to be the way of the witch trials.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't like the way
it was someone was annoyed with someone or someone just didn't like her hair. You know what I mean? It could have really been anything. My man looked at her a certain way, so she's obviously a witch because why would he not look at me like that? But he just looked at her that way.
And she showed her ankle.
I saw
Clearly she's a witch.
her big toe the other day.
Oh, my Lord.
She's got a burn. So, that being the reality of what happened in most of those cases, it could literally be anything. I don't understand it. The thing that always got me was midwives, because they were a majority of the focus of it.
Yes.
Because they literally had the life and the death of both the mother and the child in their hands. And anything happened. And I mean, they had nothing.
Right.
Anything happens.
These idiots from the past who decided that this was all witchcraft and everyone needed to be punished and burned. And it was okay to just do that because, because you were a better person than them. Anywho,
right.
Imagine somebody from the past coming to the now and seeing modern medicine, how it is, and realizing that modern medicine derived from all of that wild stuff that the midwives were doing. They're giving them herbs for this and teas for that and tinctures.
Right.
And they'd just be mind-boggled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope they're enjoying hell.
I mean,
they're just murderers.
That's all. It's fun. Yeah.
It's legal murder.
It is. I'm still mind-blown by the 1944.
That's wild.
But like I said, yes, it may have just been a 9-month sentence, but my mom was.
It was 9 months
after that.
Your mom was born the year after.
My mom was born in 1945.
Jeez.
That's a year after a woman had just done 9 months for witchcraft. That's
wow.
Just mind-blowing.
It really is.
Crazy sauce. So there you have it. Those are some actual witch burials and then some extra little tidbits that I had never heard before.
All right. Kara, my friend Kara that I talked about in the last episode who knew Gretchen Fleming, she listened to the episode and she said, hey, loved the latest podcast. This kind of answers some questions about the purse and living with the grandparents. Do you remember? Because I thought it was strange that she didn't come in contact. So apparently she had been living in another state for a while with a boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
And I think that relationship dissolved. So she had come back and she was staying with them. So it wasn't unusual. That she was gone from there a few days.
Not in contact. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. That's good to know.
And I will be honest, I cannot now remember what it said about her purse. I apologize, but I'll send you a link to that article if you want to post it for anybody to read.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed this article because the picture of her on the article, I remember seeing it a ton. So I don't know if it was just a picture used in her missing posters or something like that, but I totally missed this article completely. She also said if surveillance footage has been made public, I don't think I've seen it on anything, but it's entirely possible it's out there. And like I said, I had searched and searched, could not find it.
Yeah, I have looked and looked since, and I haven't found anything either. So
I just feel like we need to know what she was wearing. Maybe that's somewhere too. This.
That's my only question. That's not put out. It makes no sense to me.
No.
That's just weird.
I know.
Especially because she was seen right before. So it's there had to have been some kind of description there. People that just walk out in the middle of the night may not have one, but she should have.
Right.
So
on to my missing moment for this episode. I was trying to come up with missing persons who came up missing around or on Halloween. And I stumbled upon this case, and it is Patricia Spencer and Pamela, I believe it's pronounced Hobley. It's Hobley. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm ever so sorry. Or Hobley. It could go either way. Patricia Ann Spencer, who was 16, and Pamela Sue Hobley, who was 15, vanished on October 31st, 1969, after signing out of Oscoda High School in Iosco County, Michigan. Both girls were reported missing when they failed to return home for a planned Halloween party. Neither girl was ever seen again, and investigators believe they were abducted and murdered, though no bodies have been recovered.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. Patricia Ann Spencer, again, she was 16, was born January 10th, 1953. She was described as 5'3" to 5'4" tall, weighing 120 to 145 pounds, with blue eyes and brownish blonde hair. She wore glasses, but not on her last day she was seen. She was not wearing them. And had a scar on one leg from a dog attack. On Halloween, she wore a brown pullover and skirt, gray and green plaid jacket, high-heeled shoes, and a peace sign necklace. She was described as academically solid and close to her family. Her outfit
I can
just
envision
sounds...
that outfit.
Yes.
I know.
And the peace sign, are you envisioning that it's made of wood?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on a leather string.
Yeah.
Pamela Sue Hobley, who was 15, was born May 24th, 1954. She stood 5'6" to 5'8" tall. That's a tall gal. She weighed 100 to 115 pounds and had brown hair and eyes. She bore 2 distinctive facial scars, one near the nose and one by the mouth. Her last outfit included a white faux fur coat with brown trim, plaid skirt, long sleeve blouse with ruffled cuffs, chunky style shoes, and white cotton knee socks.
Again, yes.
Right?
She was very tall and slim.
Yes, and important information, her clothing descriptions. Pamela had recently accepted a marriage proposal from her boyfriend, Jim. Let's get kind of a timeline going here. It's October 31st, 1969, 2 p.m. Both girls signed out of school, claiming to attend the homecoming game and a Halloween party. The pair were not previously known to be friends, which I thought was so strange.
Oh.
Yeah. Neither carried purses, identification, nor extra clothing, indicating they had no intent to abscond.
Right.
That evening, Pamela's fiancé, Jim, reported her missing when she failed to arrive at the party. Patricia's absence was discovered shortly thereafter. November 1st, 1969, families filed missing persons report after exhaustive calls to friends and no sightings. So we're in November of 1969.
Right.
Okay. Let's take a big old leap. In May of 2013.
Oh.
2013.
That's a very big leap.
Mm-hmm. A man who worked nights as a gas station attendant at the US 23 and River Road station came forward. He recalled picking up the girls as they walked that afternoon and dropping them downtown near the station where he worked, then going to start his shift. No confirmed sightings occurred after that point. Police corroborated his timeline and ruled him out as a suspect, and his name remains withheld to protect privacy.
Oh.
I know. You're thinking exactly what I am. But they ruled him out, which is good. But why did it take you so long? That's a long time.
That's a very long time. Like a year or two is a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many years that is. I'm not going to try right this second.
I didn't math that out.
Carry on. I'll do that.
Alrighty. Initially, authorities treated the case as runaways, even theorizing they might have traveled to Flint, Michigan. Within days, suspicion shifted to abduction by 2 or more assailants, but few leads emerged. And I can't figure out what made them say it was 2 or more unless it was just because it was 2 girls. In 1985, a tip alleged the girls were killed and buried under a barn popular with local teens. A search yielded nothing. In 2010, a new detective took the case, and in 2013, police publicly named a person of interest, though no charges have been filed due to insufficient evidence. And I tried, but I couldn't find anything.
Okay, from 1969 to 2013 is 44 years. It's 2 years less than me.
Yeah.
That is entirely too long to come forward.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And how do you...
And who's to say that you remember everything correctly from 44 years ago?
I can't remember anything. I'm sorry, but like, if that was the entirety of his encounter with them, I call bullshit. Because
I mean, who knows?
Okay, so yeah, anyway.
No physical remains have been located, thus traditional forensic analysis has been limited. Investigators have explored links to the Oakland County child killer, which I think I might have to look into, but found no credible connections. The girls' families posted a $1,000 reward for information. Oscoda's annual Halloween commemorations often feature renewed media coverage, which is wonderful, and community members continue to submit tips.
Oh, wow.
Both cases, yes. Both cases remain open with the Esconda Township Police Department and Michigan State Police, the West Branch Post. The case number is 69-7755. And those are the two places that you can submit any tips that you might have.
Wow.
I know. I just stumbled upon it whenever I was like, I wonder if there's a whole lot of kidnapping, abduction kind of things that happen around this time.
Right.
Probably not now like they did, because back in the day, I think kids just went free for all through town trick-or-treating.
We did that. In Virginia, we did that. We didn't do it in West Virginia because, like,
I mean, your nearest neighbor is 20 miles away, for one thing.
Down the road for each house. So, like, ain't nobody doing that there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your time with us today and learned some things. It is spooky season, so for the remainder of the month, we will be doing all spooky. Not that our content isn't already spooky. We will be closing October on Halloween night with a premiere on YouTube. Anybody that would like to join us for that is welcome. We will be in live chat. Also, not sure how long it's going to last, but we'll be there. And we have this week left open to accept entries. So by the time this posts, we will do that week, and I should be able to put those up and everything. So we're going to give it an extra week. So the week that this comes out, you still have that week also. If you want to send us any spooky stories or anything Halloween-y that you want to share, of course, we can keep it anonymous. Also, if you would like, and change the names, or we can give you the spotlight and shout you out if you want to send us something. So just let us know.
If you want the names changed, it'll be a lot easier if you change those for us in your story.
Yes.
Would be appreciated.
Everybody's going to be like the same name if we're changing everybody's name, because that's just going to be easy to remember.
That's correct. Everybody is Johnny in Georgia. Okay.
I love
Johnny
it.
in Georgia.
Johnny in Georgia. That's perfect. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you, and we hope you join us again. If you've got your own macabre musings, tales, questions, or lore that you're dying to hear, find us on Facebook or drop us a line at Macabre.Musings.Podcast at gmail.com. And that's also where you can send your spooky stories, or you can contact us on Facebook.
Pull up a chair next time as we dive into more dark, creepy lore and maybe tumble down a rabbit hole or two. Until then, keep your lanterns low and your curiosities high.
Until next time, we will see y'all later.